Hi, everybody. Daniel from House of I and Elizabeth as well.
What's up?
Just wanted to plug Liquid Pennies dates before the podcast starts. Also wanted to give them a shout out. Thank you guys for coming on and talking to us. It was a great time. Also, thank you for the jam. That was awesome. And your music. Thank you for that. So Liquid Pennies' next show is August 2nd at the Fly Trap, which is, I believe, a show in St. Petersburg. So if you want to go see them, look up the Fly Trap on Instagram and DM them for the address. So that is their next upcoming date. And also stay tuned for the next song that we'll be posting from them. We did 2 songs, so we'll be posting that one as well soon. And then, as far as House of I goes, we have a show coming up this Thursday, August 1st. We are playing with our awesome friends, Lassiu, that have also been on this podcast many times.
Yeah.
Our sister band, as we like to say. We're playing with Tropico Boulevard and Conquistador at... Oh, nope, just Conquistador. Conquistador, sorry, yeah.
El Conquista.
I'm saying this for the white people. August 3rd, we are playing at Dada and Delray with The Great Fear. So Miami, if you're listening to this, please come out and check that out. Then August 23rd, we're playing at the Benz in St. Petersburg with Palomino Blonde and the Jackettes. Palomino Blonde is coming from Miami, which thank you guys for doing this again. And the Jackettes are St. Pete natives, and I'm super excited to hear them. I've been listening to their albums, so yeah. And then August 31st, we're playing at the Blue Note in Tampa. We're playing with Blood Moon Boogie, Mr. Handsome, Neverless, and Satch. So please come out and check that. We have more upcoming dates in September and October, but we will be releasing those in the later podcast. So hope you enjoy the podcast, and thanks for listening.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Peace.
You guys did great.
You guys,
Daniel, good job,
let's
Daniel.
round of applause.
Hey.
Before we start, let's do a little cheers, everybody.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you guys for coming on, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have Liquid Pennies on.
Yeah.
I guess like the first question that I usually ask people is like, where are you guys from?
I was born in Puerto Rico.
Really?
Yeah, I moved here in '89 when I was 4. Are you Puerto Rican?
He is.
I was born in Mayagüez.
Well, I wasn't born there, but
Okay.
I have family in Puerto Rico. My mom was
Okay,
born in
cool.
Puerto Rico.
That's
Guaynabo.
Okay, awesome. Yeah.
Do you speak Spanish?
No. Yeah, moved. My parents were gringos. My dad was there. Got a PhD at University of Puerto Rico and doing marine biology stuff. And,
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hung out there for a while longer and had my sister and me, and then we moved back here. And
So wait, how long were you living there for?
only till I was 4.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
so
then
I
you ended
came
up in
back
Florida.
here and then started school. I did like preschool or whatever,
Yeah.
daycare stuff, and spoke Spanglish as a toddler or whatever. But moved here and lost all that. I went to school in Pinellas County. It's like, yep, you better do
Yeah.
this. Yeah,
That's so
You
funny.
speak American now.
yeah, you bet. American boy. Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking awesome though.
yeah.
What was the reason why you were born in Puerto Rico exactly?
Dad was there studying and then worked for University of
okay.
Puerto Rico.
Okay.
They actually needed a white PhD student for one of their programs, so like he went down there and got a PhD.
That's crazy.
And so he was there for like 20 years with my mom. They moved there together, and hung out, and then had us, and then Puerto Rico got sketchy in the 80s, so we moved back here.
Was it really for real?
Yeah, I guess like the last straw was we were in a car and stopped at a red light, and dudes came out. They were stopped, like one of the first cars stopped at the red light, and they came out and started robbing people down the line, like they were waiting in traffic.
They had guns and shit.
Yep, at gunpoint. So like, I mean, I don't remember any of that, and they didn't get to us, but my mom was like, "We're getting."
She's like, "Yeah, we
yeah,
need
she
to
had
bounce."
2 little kids. She was like, "We're going back to the mainland,"
Yeah.
and you know, so we moved to Florida. Dad started counting turtles here.
Damn, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was born there. She moved here for college, and then she met my dad in Miami, and then that's how I was born.
Yeah, cool.
Origin story.
When a man and a woman love each other.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
How about you,
where are you
Chaz?
from?
I'm from Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeehaw.
Yeah.
Holy
Yeehaw.
shit.
Yeah.
Way out
Always
there.
a good conversation starter.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah,
besides all the
definitely.
white, what else did you see?
Mm-hmm.
There's something other than
It's like
white.
good punk
Yeah.
bands and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a cool little music. Similar to Tampa or St. Pete, kind of a similar vibe there.
Mhm.
Really?
And, that's the biggest town there, so
Yeah,
it was,
Anchorage is the,
yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
spot to be if you're playing music and
Mhm.
stuff, yeah.
yeah.
Is it
But,
always snowing there?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Summers, I would imagine.
Summers,
Yeah, right now
really
it's
nice.
probably, it's like in the 60s, low 70s. 4th
And
of
that's
July, I've
summer,
seen
though.
it
Do
get
you
it up to
prefer
like
24 hours
90
of
once.
daylight or no daylight at all?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
your favorite season?
Yeah, it's not quite like super extreme like that, but there's that part about it too. It's like
Yeah, so Anchorage is
Daylight.
way up there where you get
Yeah.
those 24-hour or close to
yeah,
24 hours.
yeah, it's less drastic.
Yeah.
But,
But in the dark part of the year, the winter, you just play guitar. That's why you press
so
the
good.
That's
press
why
the
you're so
pedal
good.
That's
Right.
why
or you snowboard, or you like
Yeah.
Yeah, you play
read
notes really
books,
good.
or whatever you want to do. Yeah.
I mean, that's nice.
Watch
I didn't
movies.
mean
Wait,
to
do
laugh at that.
you snowboard, bro? You snowboard?
I actually skied. I never switched to snowboarding. I was like
See,
one of the
I
only
think
people
like
that.
Alaska
Yeah.
would be too dismal of a society to like ski and snowboard. I just feel like
Why?
I
I mean,
don't know.
like, yeah.
It's so isolated. It's just I don't know. Anchorage seems sad.
I'm sorry.
Have you been?
Yeah, are you?
I'm like, do people snowboard?
No, but I get it though. I feel like Alaska in itself sounds kind of sad.
Really? Yeah.
No, I don't
Beautiful.
think so.
I do.
Maybe it's just because I've watched Into the Wild and Red Hatchet.
Ah,
Exactly.
dude,
Yeah.
into the wild.
Classic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's an awesome.
Yeah, what's the
story.
point of even?
That's like what I
snowboarding
wanna
if,
do
like,
with my
you're
life,
living in
except for-
Alaska. It just sucks. Is that what the point is? It's like, yeah.
I'm sorry, Chad.
No, it is. It takes
Into
its
the
toll on
Wild's an
people.
awesome story. Just eat that little plant. If you didn't do that,
Yeah.
would, you know, that's exactly what I want to do with my
Spoiler
life,
alerts.
except for eat that
Spoiler.
plant. Yeah, I mean that movie.
There's a
came
lot
out
of
long time
people
ago.
that
read the book
are
and all
drawn
that
to
long
it
time ago.
for that reason. Just that, like
Yeah.
the unknown, the
just the
autonomy
serenity
and the
now
space,
out there,
and
that space,
people
yeah.
enjoy that. Other people can't be in their own company that long and
Yeah.
are uncomfortable with their own thoughts.
Oh, I'm company.
So
I'm
yeah.
in company.
'Cause if you
so
live alone,
that
you're
doesn't
probably
appeal to everybody. You know.
Yeah.
If you live alone,
Like-
you're probably stuck in your apartment for a very long time. If you live with a family, you're stuck in that house.
But if you go and live out in the, like you know how to build your own house and buy property and
Right.
know how to hunt and like
Oh,
people,
You can
I
move,
mean, yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's not like I don't think people go up there to isolate themselves in an apartment by themselves. Yeah, that would,
Yeah, that doesn't.
But
nobody
if
wants
you
to
grow
do
up
that.
there, then it's a little bit harder to get out, and you can end
Yeah.
up in that situation. So
Yeah.
it's shitty for people.
Yeah,
Not everybody
yeah.
wants to live there, but can't. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like here where you're gonna just be able to drive somewhere, or
And
take
you-
a
yeah.
Greyhound bus or whatever, a train.
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
it takes a little bit more
To get out of
planning
there.
to.
Yeah.
How long did you live there for?
I grew up there. My dad was in grad school. I lived in Salt Lake City through part of elementary school. And
Utah,
then-
right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then I moved back up there and I went through high school and lived there for a couple years, and then left, and then moved back there again for about a year. And then the next winter, I went through a winter living there and decided that it wasn't for me again.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Key West
again.
again, Colin?
Yeah.
Or were there steps
Yeah, so then I
between
moved to Key West, and that's how I ended up in Florida. I had a buddy living in Key West.
Oh my god, that's as far as you can go.
Yeah, and I was originally planning to go to California, but I knew I just wanted to get the fuck out of there. So, yeah, my buddy was working as a tattoo artist in Key West, and it's like, hey, we need a roommate down here, and yeah, so that is how I ended up coming down to Florida. originally.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I was gonna say you're much closer to California.
Yeah, and I had lived there
And Utah.
before too. Yeah, So
You went to California after Key West though.
I lived in California before and after Key West.
Damn, you
Yeah.
moved a lot.
he's zooming
Yeah.
You
around.
moved a lot.
Yeah, I've traveled quite a bit. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I think once, trying to leave there and realizing once you are able to do that, you can, it's a real possibility, and it's something if, I just wanted to kind of see all these different places and kind of experience them from living in them too. And once you kind of I kind of feel like I developed the skills to be able to do that when I initially left.
Because you came straight from San Francisco to here, right?
Yeah.
Because you had that. I remember that unemployment. We hung out. I wasn't working much either.
Yeah.
Right, we were hanging out on the beach fishing every day.
Mhm.
Yeah, and just running around.
So when you moved back, was he one of the first people that you met?
Yeah, we have
I think one of the first nights he probably came and hung out or something.
Yeah. Mutual friends, and we and we started kind of playing music together, kind of right off the bat because I
remember one of the first times we hung out, he was playing guitar and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I was batting on my knees and I was like, oh, we could probably
That works.
we could probably do something.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Well, where are you from, Dylan?
So Puerto Rico, Alaska, Venice, Florida.
Hey!
That's 1 hour north of
anchor it back down.
Yeah, the true Floridian.
Yeah.
Well, there needs to be at least one.
That's beautiful
Us
down
too.
there.
Yeah, we're from Miami.
Just
So,
straight across.
it's right
the
there,
side
man.
yeah.
And see, I do love Florida. I've traveled to do a bit of the U.S. I've traveled abroad to do a little bit, but it's still a good little home base to come back
Oh
to.
yeah, St. Pete
Pete's
is a
great.
very livable town.
Oh yeah.
As long as you don't pay too much rent or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you guys all live in St. Pete?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people say, actually. They're like, Tampa's cool, and then you you mention something like Miami, and they're like, oh,
Mhm.
no. Like St. Pete, Tampa, this area
Miami's
is really
pretty
nice.
cool, I've heard. I mean, I've
very
only
expensive.
flown out of there. Living, I don't know, but going to hang out and good scene, good music.
You
And
get to see a lot
all
of
sorts
movies.
of cool.
I bet. Yeah.
I was going to say graffiti all over the
Yeah.
place.
Bump and
Like
graffiti,
cool
a lot
art
of
everywhere,
movies.
all the murals and everything. St. Pete's like that too. There's a lot of just art vibe.
It's
Lots of
definitely a
movies.
bigger. I would say it's a bigger version of St. Pete, probably.
Mhm. Yeah.
But living there is difficult.
Yeah.
It's not probably as easy as living in St. Pete.
Yeah.
Just because people down there are fucking pieces of shit, man.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, you think Miami, you think of just gnarly,
A lot of
gnarly, gnarly drug
Scarface.
use. Yeah, Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
scary.
And that's
scary
not far
people.
off, man.
Yeah.
So I went
Sounds
to
cool in the movie, but
I went to go see a
Living there.
show with Kenny, our guitarist, just me and him. We decided, we should go network, whatever we go. And we decided to go in his van, right? His van. And I mean, his van, the back doesn't close. It's a crappy looking van, right? That was the
Yeah.
van. So we go
Yeah.
out there, and we get there. The most valuable thing in that fucking van is the thick iPod.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I take it and I
Uh-huh.
shove it into the glove compartment when we get there because I was
Yeah.
like, I don't want anyone to see that.
Yeah.
The rest of the car is fucking empty. I'm not
Yeah.
exaggerating.
Mhm.
The rest of the car is fucking empty. We go to the show, we come back, someone threw a rock through the window. We went straight to the glove compartment. It took the fucking goddamn
Jammed it under
fucking
the
iPod.
seat under the mat.
Parked in
Yeah.
front of us a BMW though.
Mm.
I had
We were
friends
like,
that went.
Why the band van?
Why the
Yeah.
van? You know,
Perfectly good BMW.
we were
right in
both
front of
so fucking
Yeah.
pissed, and we just rode back to Miami Lakes, and we were just so. I
There's
was
a
sitting
cat.
on top of
You
it.
know what that was? Sorry.
Pam. That's our
Pam,
cat,
that's
Pam.
Pam.
that's kitty cat Pam.
Yeah.
That's a nice name.
So here's what you should have done. I had friends that went and played down at Churchill's one time.
Ah, nice, yes.
And
That's
they
another
said
one.
there's a little dirt lot across the road where you can park and stuff.
Right.
And there's the neighborhood crackhead that
Yeah.
watches
They
every
park you.
lot.
They
That's
park
right.
you. They
So
tell
he's
you.
like, give me money, I'll watch your car.
Right.
Da, 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 da. So my friend, what he does is he takes out a $20 bill and he rips it in half and he gives it to the crackhead and he's like, half now, half later. I want my van in the same shape it was when I dropped it off here.
Class, yeah, that's good.
Huh.
Dude,
Take that $20 bill and that crackhead
Collateral.
$20.
your boy gives a big tip because what
That's
we
what
would
they
do.
should've done.
We just tell them we're gonna give you money
Yeah,
when we
we'll
come
give
out.
you money when we're out,
Yeah.
and then we'll just give a couple dollars.
We'll give them
Well, how'd that
like,
work out for the band?
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
you
never,
give
never
you
had
give
an
them
issue.
$5 and tell them you're gonna give them 15 when you come out.
something like that, man,
You
or
don't have
just
to
We
tear
would
the
just
money
we
in
would always
half.
say like we'll get you when we're
$5
out.
will keep them motivated while they're
Oh, yeah.
watching your car.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, the
Exactly.
whole crackhead watching your car. I mean, how sturdy is a crackhead?
I've,
Very sturdy. If someone wants to get into those cars, I'll
Very
Yeah,
I
we've
bet-
heard bad stories about like people getting their tires slashed, about people getting their battery stolen.
Out of their car. I
That's
invited
like
a
Ybor.
coworker
That's like
and they were
Ybor.
like,
that
absolutely
never
not.
happens in St. Pete.
when I lived in
For
San
example,
Francisco,
yeah,
I had my windows
We
broken in
have
my car
photos,
at least
but
3 or
not
4 times.
Really mean.
Really?
Yeah. Just the smash and grab stuff. Yeah.
In San Francisco?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
surprised about that.
Oh, it
There's a
happens
bunch of
all
bums on
the
those
fucking
streets.
Oh
time.
yeah, San Francisco.
It's
Bummy.
I went to
really-
San Francisco.
I mean,
and
not like.
What's the
think
part of town in San Francisco that's really sketchy?
the Tenderloin.
Tenderloin, dude.
Yeah.
I went to the Tenderloin unknowingly, like skateboarding around with this little blonde girl that I was dating at the time.
Classic, right?
It was scary,
Classic.
dude. It was
It was?
scary.
I mean, the
Strung out
Tenderloin's
people
always
everywhere, like,
been a place where there's been
wouldn't surprise me
bordellos.
that
The
there's a
early
lot of
jazz
crime
shit
right
was
there.
going on there. That's where all the crime and like gnarly. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just been that way since like the turn of the century, pretty much.
Yeah, it's
So
like
there's a
strung
lot of
out-
heroin on
strung
those
out.
streets.
That's
I
exactly.
mean, there's
what
a lot
it
of
looked
I
like.
see a
anything.
lot of needles walking around San
Yeah.
Francisco.
That's what it looked
Yeah.
like.
Or
Everybody
Or like
was
Skid Row in
slumped
LA.
over,
It's pretty
yeah.
much any.
Yeah, it was like the
open
Skid
drug
Row
market.
of San Francisco.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
it was pretty.
Cali
gnarly.
sounds fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, it's a little too intense. Like some of the.
Don't knock it till you try it.
I tried it, but I would like to go back and do more. But yeah, it was pretty intense.
I thought you were about to say do more drugs or something like that.
No.
So. Just be there a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I've never traveled further than Texas.
Really?
Yeah, like I've been to Europe, but I've never traveled further than Texas in the
What?
United States.
You got Arizona
irony.
and New Mexico right there. You're so close to some like really cool shit. It's
Really?
right
That's
there.
what people
Yeah.
say.
Yeah,
New
even
Mexico
those
is
areas.
fucking-
Yeah, both of them.
Yeah,
Both.
Arizona is beautiful.
I rode
Arizona,
a dirt
yeah.
bike through
It's
New Mexico, and
beautiful.
I
Sounds
was
beautiful.
dropping into
Gnarly.
valleys, like crying how beautiful it was, like in the back of the pack, like
This is a beautiful.
rode for a
Okay.
month to get here, and this is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you guys have all kind of traveled a little bit then, it seems.
Well,
Yeah, I think we all.
Yeah.
Have, yeah.
yeah,
Be
a
in
little bit
Aruba in,
out.
like, a
Yeah,
month.
Aruba.
Yeah.
Holy shit! How long are you staying there for?
Just 4 days. Go down and do some diving.
Damn,
I'm
that's
going to
So-
Kansas next month.
Yeah. What's going on in Kansas?
Let's go to
man?
Philly.
I know a pretty
What's going on
lady.
there?
I know a pretty lady with a lake house.
That's what's
Shout
happening.
out.
That's what's happening.
I know a pretty lady with a lake house. That's awesome.
I would go to Kansas too if I,
I
knew a
mean,
pretty little lady
yeah,
with a lake
exactly.
house.
It's not a bad gig. Like I would never pick Kansas, but that's happening. So.
Yeah, that's the reason, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere.
Conditions sound right.
Oh.
I wonder what for.
Tis
JJ, I
the
wa-
season.
Exactly.
No,
So, go ahead, sorry.
He's just
No, I was
trying
just
to get
gonna
out
say-
on a pontoon boat.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, me and my best friend, we travel once a year. We go. Like, we gotta go.
What? How do you pick out the place?
So far, it's been like places that we've been wanting to go to, but this year we decided we're gonna go to the airport. We're gonna bring our passports, and we're gonna go. What's the cheapest flight?
Oh, cool.
And then we're gonna decide.
Make it random like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it random like
I
that.
I've
like
always
that.
like
That's-
gone on surf trips. Like we plan where we're going,
Right.
like to the airport or whatever.
I'm thinking I'm gonna
we
go
don't
to
plan
Hurricane.
anything after that. Let's rent a car or
Exactly,
something.
yeah,
But
yeah.
and then it's just like surf spot.
You have the resources
Meet the
and the
people on the
boards
beach and
and-
ask
yeah.
them like what's the best hostel around
Yeah,
or
where
whatever.
we're
And
going.
then just
Yeah.
That's
bounce.
my favorite thing. Is it's like the
Dude,
more
just-
and more
yeah,
you
don't
travel,
plan
it really
anything.
is the less about
Seriously,
where you
go to the beach
Just
and
make the
ask
most
the
of it while
people
you're there.
where's the cool place to stay.
Right.
You know, and they'll
The
tell
first
you.
trip we took was to Boston, and we land there, and we didn't have a place to stay.
Yeah.
We get there, and we're like, "Oh, this is cool. This like this little bar is cool. Like, oh, look at this live band. That's cool. Oh, fuck, I'm tired. Where are we going?" And we was like, "Oh, I don't I don't know.
Yeah, you
and then
maybe
we,
just-
you know,
yeah,
we ended
plan
up
a
finding.
little bit.
check in. It's
Yeah.
so easy.
And then we
to
found
just-
some fucking place, and then
Yeah.
we checked in. But yeah, I don't know how to even pack for this trip. That's like the one
That's
thing
the
that
thing.
has us
Should you
kind
bring
of
a
like.
sweater?
Jacket? Do I bring? Yeah,
Yeah,
shorts.
you're
We
going
don't fucking know.
Yeah, you gotta have just an all-inclusive thing, and you're probably gonna wear the same
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah,
A lot.
exactly.
Yeah.
A lot.
It's the,
So
it's
what's
the
one
summer,
place
so
you
like,
would just
yeah.
say hell no to if they said that's
Oh,
the
if that's the
cheapest?
cheapest ticket.
Miami.
Miami. Oh yeah,
That's possible. That's possible. We would both be like, oh no.
That would be funny. though.
No, I mean personally, it's gonna sound awful, but anywhere in Africa, I'd probably have to be like, bounce that. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. You know, she's been to Africa, so she has all the shots and stuff like that. I don't.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be
just
like,
didn't want to go through the
absolutely
whole
not. I'm not doing that.
customs mess of
Yeah.
getting sorted.
I'd
yeah.
Just
probably
the
pass that.
logistics of getting there, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah, 'cause it
I
would
was
be
in Florida for
incredible, but
5 years.
you have to
go
really-
Costa Rica
You
one
might
time.
end up somewhere cool like Denver or something.
We've been to Denver. We have a
Yeah.
friend that lives out there, so we've been there a
So I
couple
know
times
there's like
actually.
cheap flights to places like Denver.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I want to see the West Coast though. Like
Mhm.
we have well, actually, we have a friend. She doesn't know him, but we have a friend that lives out in Seattle,
Mhm.
so Washington. So I'd
Yeah.
like to get out there.
that's
That'd be
where my
cool.
parents live. Is out
Yeah.
outside of there in Gig Harbor, but pretty close. Like that's a really cool area.
It just
Yeah.
it just sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I just, man, I'd like to travel more. I can never put away money for it. Like all my money tends to go to like gear or like now I guess the house stuff, and it's
I
just
get
like,
that. That's why I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah,
It's
Oh,
like
I
I just
have
spent
no
all that money on
tattoos,
gear.
You guys
Yeah.
have, you have
Yeah.
tattoos?
No.
We're a band with
I'm
no
not
tattoos.
one
I'm the
tattoo
only person with a
between
tat.
three
Yeah.
bands.
Tattoos are
We have one?
mainstream.
I got one
And I
tattoo.
got punk rock roots.
Yeah.
Like I ain't messing with
Yeah,
all that
JJ was
mainstream.
in like the
We
gnarliest
all have
punk
punk
band
rock
in St.
roots.
Pete. St. Pete punk
Yeah.
rock legend right there.
no.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of punk people that are like, no, because it's like
It's more rebellious
It was
that way.
It's more rebellious.
It was a
Yeah,
cool. It
exactly.
was a cool, really fun shock punk band, Mosquito Teeth. I mean, I did that for I think 9 years or more.
nice.
Yeah, it was really fun. We played a lot of shows. It was really fast and really
Still is.
gnarly.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
still,
they're
yeah,
still
they're
killing
they're
it.
still doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just after that long and just playing the D beat over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You did that D beat real well.
Over.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
See, he's killing it
yeah.
right
If
now.
you if you don't do that, if you do something different, then it's no longer punk rock. So I was like, hey, you know, and just after a while, I'm still friends with all those dudes and
Yeah.
hang out and everything.
So
but,
you decided to stop.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and it was pretty. It was like a very shocking, gnarly punk band. So like, it just stuff would get heated, you know, not with like between the band, but there people would get offended, you know, and it was pretty gnarly.
People,
Yeah,
what,
dude.
like at lyrics?
Not sometimes the lyrics, but mostly
Mild
with
nudity and stuff.
a lot of nudity.
Stage
And,
antics.
it was like, yeah, it was pretty shocking. Dude's pretty hairy and pretty
Diet
grotesque.
GG Allen.
Yeah, diet Gigi Allen. Gigi Allen light.
That's funny. That's,
Yeah.
I guess I get that.
It
but
was
I
more
don't know.
funny. It was all like joking, like funny. It was
Yeah.
like it was a joke band.
Yeah.
So
I don't
But
know,
some people don't. Some people
yeah,
don't
so
have a
like,
sense of humor and can take
It was
things.
just
so that's
it
a
was
whole-
it was
the
10
wrong-
years of
in a literal sense.
random
maybe.
people being like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you're in a band. You should
Yeah.
come play
Well,
like
that's a
our
whole
wedding or
cultural
something." I'm
shift
like,
in the last 10
I just
years.
can't.
It's not that type of
You
thing.
know,
Yeah, you
going
just
towards
can't.
that
You
more
can
PC
only.
culture.
We got
That's
banned from every
fallen out of
place we
fashion
played
a little
except for a
bit.
couple, and we ended up
Without
playing
a
the
doubt.
same places over and over
Right.
and stuff. So it was gnarly, you know. And then the crowd was gnarly. Like the people that would come were gnarly. So after a long time and getting older, like I was saying, like 30,
Sorry, guys,
I was partying, having a blast. 30, and then like 33, it was like the plane was just landing. I was just like, ooh, home is nice and comfortable, and it's
And
not that
silent.
loud. And
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
just like, you know, just moving
I think-
through, and then like just meeting Chaz and playing music with Chaz. I jammed with Chaz for the last 4 years of playing with Mosquito Teeth, or 3.5 or whatever, more like 3 or whatever. But yeah, played with Chaz, and we didn't really have anything serious, but we would just jam and do like 45-minute jam session takes, you know, and then, you know, have a break and then do another 45-minute and just like
I feel like we've
Yeah.
always done that
we've
kind
always
of shit.
done
but
that, just improvise.
we also
like,
had
crazy
song.
stuff.
I mean, with
Yeah.
with Ashley too, we had songs that we ended up crafting, and JJ's very concise and like has definitely like where I had maybe some loose ideas for songs. I feel like from playing music with you, we kind of were able to make because I had to be like, okay, we're gonna do this now and this. So playing
if it was
with the
up
drummer,
to Chaz, everything would be improv.
but like
everything
a
would
lot
be
of it
some
comes
gnarly
from that
improv
too,
and,
from
like,
us just fucking around for a couple hours on any given day, and then kind of like processing that, maybe recording that, listening back to it, and being like, let's take this,
right.
and maybe coming up with something off of that, and but yeah, I mean, I think we kind of have always done the really free form kind of stuff, but also tried to like use that to like condense and extract stuff from that to make something that we can do consistently and kind of represent it in front of people, you know, and like kind of like capture the essence of that. And that's the hard thing, to make it feel like kind of natural.
We call them songy songs. The ones that are like songs.
Yeah.
Instead of like some meditation session or something.
Yeah.
Like some of them are just super linear, very minimalist beats or something like that, and then just like building and
like
then
a mantra or something.
Exactly. Something that seriously, when we do those jams, it's like it really is. It's like meditation. You get into this groove, and you don't have these passing thoughts, you know, and you're just like doing the moment. Saying, now.
Like, just based off of seeing you guys play live and today, like I can see how someone might think like, oh, that sounds improvised while you guys are playing, but I can tell that you guys have the structure down completely. You know, like.
But even within the structure, it's improvised.
Okay.
It really is. Almost every time we play, it can be.
There's
a little
pockets
bit different.
that have improvisation in it, but you know the structure is pretty.
Yeah,
much
well,
the
that's
same.
the thing
especially with
that we
effects
had to-
and fucking with pedals or stuff like that. Those are so random and unruly, like in a moment too, that it almost can create its own, like,
Yeah,
you
if
know,
you
you
hear
feed
the-
off of
you
that a
hear
little
the
bit.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Hear the
hearing
loop
Chaz
going
do
a
the,
certain way, you know, and like, okay, like, what was the song? Not Descenders. We have a lot of them start with D. Dissolver. When we played. There's a part where it's like, it's kind of just like when we get to that part, it's like, all right, let's see what Chaz is gonna do.
Okay.
Keep the beat, and then like, you know, he's gonna go through the motions of little lead and then pedal and turning some knobs, maybe some.
But then we know it's
stuff,
gonna
and
go
then
like this many
and then once he
measures, and then
kind of
there's gonna be
stands
a
up
little
and his
roll
face
where
gets
they come
near the
back in.
mic, it's like, okay, we're gonna drop it back down to the hi-hat,
Starting
quiet
point
back
and
down,
end
do
point,
some
but
vocals
leaving
here.
have the
Like,
bookends,
you know
but
you know the vocals
in
are gonna
between
come
is-
like once he's done doing his deal.
Yeah, so what happens in between doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm not in the sense of
Exactly,
like it
yeah.
doesn't, but you get what I mean. Like, dude, you can do whatever you want.
It
In
just has to
between
do
this
with
space.
what we're feeling, or like,
Yeah.
you know, at a show, who's
Yeah.
like what the energy is in the room
Exactly.
and how it's
Yeah.
bouncing off the walls or whatever. You know, have
Might
a
be
little bit
louder.
of
Brings it back
softer.
to how music should be, instead of some perfectly written song that's
As
the same
product.
over and over. It's
Yeah.
Beauties and the
product, yeah.
mistakes.
Exactly.
You know, or-
So sometimes we're not that tight, but you
It
know,
works.
it's a different version of how you want to play music
Oh,
and
yeah.
what's good
and you're
for
challenging
you.
yourself. I think is
Yeah.
the main thing. It's just like, you know,
And
feeling
if-
like you're pushing yourself and
It's an
out of
awareness
your comfort
thing. Like
zone. a
how
little bit
how
with
is
it,
this
too.
room feeling? How are these people feeling? How are we feeling? Whatever. It's an awareness thing of like how to play the music at the right time.
Yeah, I would say it's funny that we were talking earlier about the Chili Peppers, because they're another band that tend to do that in their songs, where like they'll kind of go off and start doing like something different, you know, like a little jam or whatever. I know they I know they literally play jams live as well.
Yeah.
But you know, they kind of do that with their songs sometimes, and it's like, yeah, that is cool. Like I guess it shows you. Well, no, I mean the way I see it is like, I feel like, for an audience member that knows your music, for example, like seeing that is like, oh, this is like almost like a different song. Almost,
Yeah.
it's not really,
Yeah.
but it's like you're introducing like a new aspect to
really
it.
is,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? And that's always cool. I always fucking enjoy the shit out of that.
That Slain Castle. That's such a good fucking show, because they did exactly that. They were going from song into song into song, and you know, obviously they had to think about it. You know, like, how are we gonna do it? But it was just so cool to see how they were like, this song is just going to dissolve into the next
Unravel
one. Don't stop.
somehow,
Yeah.
but-
Don't stop. Just wail.
First few shows we had, we and we try to do it for all of them or whatever. Depends on where we're playing or whatever. But first few shows, we had 3 songs that we would just mesh together. Like they would end or whatever, but there would be it would never just dry out and be like, okay, we're Liquid Pennies and this one's called this and that, and like go on. Like it was just straightforward, and each song was 6, 7, 8 minutes long or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was just like,
So in total, it was like 20.
once you get done with those 3 songs, you're halfway through the set, and everybody's like,
Is
that like
7-8 minutes?
that like it's like symphony,
norm.
like rock and roll symphony shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the kind of stuff that drew me into wanting to just change from that structured D beat. Like this is the song, chorus, outro.
Well, also genre as well, right? I mean, technically
yeah.
speaking, like you guys could do punk if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we do have
we
a lot of that in there, and
we
like
have that influence.
I
We get
know.
very loud and get
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
some really
it's hard
heavy
for me not
parts.
to.
Yeah.
we all played in punk and hardcore bands, so we
Well-
all have kind of that like, and that's what I kind of like about, I think that's where maybe the concise thing can come in, like where we can hone it in a little bit more and because that
'Cause
format
Black
of music
Flag,
is very.
all those old Black Flag things.
Black Flag.
You
jazz.
have your parts, you
Yeah.
have your intro, your verse, your chorus, your verse, your chorus, and
Black Flag did things that
Yeah.
sounded like improv,
that too.
but
Yeah.
when you go see them play it again, it's
Note for
perfect.
note. You
for
listen to
note.
you're
like,
live
ooh.
in '84.
That
He's playing
weird-
every note of that fucked up solo,
Yeah, exactly.
note for note.
And you're like,
Yeah.
okay, that sounds
know,
like
yeah.
sounds like he was just
True.
zooming, to like zing, zing. Where am I supposed to go?
Yeah.
But that
But
was
you
like
could say
something
that-
he did. Yeah. So.
Yeah, about going back to like if you take like the Chili Peppers, I feel like they're pulling maybe from Funkadelic, who's pulling from
Absolutely, yeah.
the blues guys, who are pulling from the jazz guys, and all that music had improvisation, and their live performances weren't going to be
Perfect,
note for
yeah.
note,
Yeah.
and like. But it has a lot to do with what the expectations are too. People want to hear, sometimes, especially the more popular a band gets or a song gets, they want to hear it note for
Specific
note.
things,
They want to
yeah.
hear the singer
Oh, yeah.
do the exact
Yeah.
same
Yep,
thing
yep,
and
there's-
have that replicated.
And I can see that. I can see that where you buy your ticket and you're stoked and you've heard this album and you're obsessed with it and you listen to it and then they do it different, or just like maybe they don't sing in the same octave, they bring it down or they tune down or
Yeah.
like anything that's different. It's like
All those bands that tune to E flat standard live.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's just down a half step. Makes
Yeah.
it sound lazy almost.
Yep, I'm obsessed with the OCs.
I love when bands do that, though.
And
I love when bands
John
fuck with
Dwyer,
it.
John Dwyer, I watched a live video of a song, and he usually sings like high pitched stuff, but he dropped his octave.
tuning?
No, he dropped his octave on his vocals.
Lord.
For,
Vocals, yeah.
and it was just like,
You didn't like it?
how dare
That's the most
you?
Jim Carrey
You didn't
reaction.
like it.
Yeah.
You
I
didn't
didn't
it.
like
You're
it.
not supposed to do that.
This is weird that I'm saying this on recording. The only thing I've mentioned about the OCs that I didn't like, but I love the OCs.
No, but it's
I do
It's
too.
just, but it was just
I do
like
too.
concept of where he changed it a little bit, and I was like,
No,
how
yeah.
dare you?
Did I not ask you that when I first saw you guys at Sage? Did I not ask you about that? Like,
The
do
OCs,
you like
I
the
probably
OCs?
mentioned it. I tell everyone.
He
I'm
mentioned
I
it,
like
and I was
the
like,
OCs.
oh, yeah,
I
Daniel
listen to
knows
OCs
them.
all day. I struggled to find any song that's better than any OC song. I seriously listen. I'm like, this is cool. Not as good as the
Is
OCs.
it Crumb?
our
Is it
shit's
Crumb
pretty
or
good.
yeah? Crumb is the band, right?
Sorry,
Crumb is a
that's-
band,
Yeah,
yeah.
I had to get that in there.
Yeah, they just put out a
Crumb
new one. That's
You like Crumb?
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Crumb
you
is
guys tell
fucking
you guys
great.
tell me.
yeah,
'cause
they're sick.
I
Yeah,
really like.
They really are sick.
I like
Yeah.
what you guys do, and you guys. I know you said don't mention you, but you're a
breaking the
band that's
rules.
like I would listen to in my car on the way to work. Like,
It's so cool
yeah,
because
like the other bands I see live are like awesome, cool, like great playing with you and amazing, but it
it's
might
like a
not.
soccer game, like
it's-
a little league soccer game.
Yeah, and everybody has their different little
It's that
genre
it's
and
that-
feel and
it's
stuff,
that-
but you guys are a freaking rocker on point.
Honestly,
type.
when we saw you
Super
guys, I thought the
cool.
same thing. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
oh
was-
shit, that was fucking dope. I was listening to you guys, and I actually pulled away from the group, and I just sat in front of you guys, and I was like,
Yeah, no, all of
Like, I
us the
just-
whole time we're sitting in our little camping chairs, and we had our friends there, and we're just like, you don't fucking
Yeah.
see this?
It's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
goddamn hot though.
it
Oh,
was so
it
hot.
Eyebrows were
Yeah.
dripping sweat before.
I
we-
remember
we played
leaning
my eyes
forward
melting.
and it was dripping
We
off
only
the end of my
played 4
hair.
songs
It was
before
very-
the cops shut it down.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
still,
Dude, just drenched.
Well, we were there all day, and
Yeah.
we had a fire too, so that was heating up.
I was sitting
Yeah,
by the
exactly.
fire in
Yeah.
91 degree
Yeah.
Why was there a
Temperatures,
fire
which is at
going? I
night.
don't even
Right.
know.
Do you remember seeing me
It kept the
earlier?
bugs away a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
more, too.
I remember.
Do you remember I was wearing like a long sleeve shirt and
Yeah.
I had to change?
Soaked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was completely soaked.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
I could wring out my shit. Like,
Yeah.
it
It
was,
was
Yeah.
disgusting.
No,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was hot.
I was sweating.
Hot
I waited to
Florida night.
change after I played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
'cause
felt-
I
I
was
was,
soaking wet. I
That-
went straight
That
home after
shower
that. I was
when
like,
we
I
got
gotta
back.
go. Fucking disgusting
Mandatory.
right now.
Mandatory
Yeah.
shower. No matter what time you're getting back.
Head,
It's just
head
like,
to toe. I was like,
yeah.
holy,
Yeah.
oh.
Chad's got a flat tire pulling up at that place.
yeah, somewhere on the way there, I got a
Yeah.
slow leak, and it was like, damn. But you had Fix-A-Flat somehow.
I
in
had
your car.
Fix-A-Flat
and
in
that
my
got,
car.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Solid.
You don't have a
So-
spare?
I didn't have the spare on there.
We're
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
unprepared for that.
I know. I should
We
have had
had,
the
Yeah,
spare.
we had a spare.
But
Well, at least you
I
had
don't
Fix a
think
Flat
that's
though.
fine.
That's a
Yeah.
good. That's definitely
Yeah.
a good.
That was
fucking-
just-
If
Yeah,
you
we're
don't
lucky
have a
the
spare,
draw.
you have fix
Yeah.
it.
I had a leak in one of my tires, and I bought the Fix-A-Flat, and I was like, if it ever gets really bad, at least I have this, and I can get somewhere. And then I bought new tires probably the day before the show, and then Chad's got a
mine was
flat tire.
brand new too. I just bought that like a week
Yeah.
before. That was the thing I was like,
Lame.
what the fuck? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Chaz was all sweating and all
It
stressed
was a nail
out
like
about
right
how
in
bad
the center
PA
of the
was,
tire.
and it was like, hey, your
like
tire's
literally
flat.
like in the
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it still? It's still like you're still running on the same tire with the Fix a Flat in it?
No, we're not that.
That'd be
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That'd be awesome though if it lasted that long.
I think
Yeah,
Fix-A-Flat's
That'd be a
good for
sh-
2 hours. It
plug
says
for
on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
front.
Oh,
Go
really?
get a new
That's it?
tire.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I didn't know that.
No, you
You
pull the
gotta-
nail out and you
The
patch
can
it.
says you gotta put it in there and then drive around for 2 miles,
Yeah.
and then it's good for 2 hours. 2 and 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Damn. See, at work.
So
I
you know
use
how to
the
work your
patches.
Fix-A-Flat.
Mm.
Yeah,
all
we
the
patch a lot of-
listeners
Yeah.
out there.
Damn, that's crazy.
Real
Okay, so-
interesting part of the show.
A question that you guys kind of answered a little bit, but like, where did you guys like? When did you start playing music in general?
Are we just gonna go this rotation? Let's start with
Let's
Dylan.
start
That's
with Dylan.
yeah.
Let's go this way.
He's like, what?
Yeah, I feel like I was late to the game. I got my first guitar when I was like 16, and then, you know, like in high school, I tried forming bands and nothing really stuck. And I don't know, first band that I really did a lot with was Sketchy, like
Yeah.
my punk band, and we're still going and everything. We're like almost 6 years deep at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, kind of in how the band formed, it was cool because I knew JJ from his old punk rock band, and then these two had recorded something, and he posted it on his Facebook, and I listened to it, expecting like another punk rock band out of this guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, that was really cool.
Yeah, that
And then
was
I just
Angles,
happened to be at
yeah.
a show. Yeah. the
Yeah, we did a
Angles
video. We recorded like a couple of our songs and then did a little music video for it. And we put
Put it
that
up there because we were
yeah.
trying to find someone to play bass.
Little
Yeah, and
Mans.
then I was
Yeah.
at a show like a week after it was posted. I just went to the show by myself down at Planet Retro, and I bumped into Jay, and I was like,
Yeah.
that thing you posted the other day was really cool. And he's like, oh yeah, that's me and Chaz. And like, grab Chaz.
And I
here.
knew him from the Sketchy band, and
Yeah.
I remember telling Chaz, I was like, he's like a clean cut, nice person. He'll show
I came
up.
straight from my job.
Yeah,
I
it's
came. I'm pretty sure I was in
Yeah.
like a purple dress shirt and black.
Well, yeah, I was just saying that. Yeah, I was like,
You guys said
he's
5
not,
o'clock.
he's not
I
like a
scurried
weird.
down to
like,
Howard Franklin, and I was there.
From what I knew about you, I didn't know you, but from what I knew about you,
No.
you were like a reputable
Well, I'm
person that
sorry
went to
I
Mosquito
misled
Tea
you.
shows. There was only like 3 or 4 reputable
So
people at their
disappointing.
Mosquito Tea shows, and you were one of them.
He's
a
like,
couple
my
times that I was like,
bad
this
that I
guy's
led
so nice.
you to believe all of those
So
things.
yeah, he started playing bass and ended up doing this. Yeah, sure.
Wow.
How long have you
Now
guys
here we
been?
are.
I guess like playing together, like all three of you.
I think it was
About a
what
year and
maybe
a half.
around April of 2018 that we
Oh,
started
wow,
playing
okay,
together.
cool.
Sometime around then.
Fuck
Yeah. Yeah.
So they've been
So
going
over
for
a
a
year.
long time together before I came in. But when I came in is kind of when it turned like more bandy. Like started playing shows and started
Songy songs.
Yeah, songy
We
songs.
had some
Songy
songy songs, but we hadn't like pushed. We were right at the point. I think we were like ready to start playing, and then I think from getting like meeting Dylan, we had to obviously like teach him some of the songs. But it was nice because we had a bunch of recordings already done because we'd done these demos, and
they dropped me a Google Drive after I was like, I like the one song. They like just dropped like 12 demos in a Google Drive for me, and I listened to the shit out of it.
I've never put anything in a Google Drive.
Well, Chaz put a lot of songs in the Google Drive for me, and that just made it easy. I was just listening to them all the time, and then we'd jam on them a little bit. I'd write my bass lines because it was just drums, guitars. Sometimes you'd do the baritone guitar in there. There were keys on it.
Yeah, when we recorded,
all the low end
bass lines too.
All the bass lines were with like a synthesizer. They were all there. There was definitely bass lines. Yeah,
that's true.
But it was like low synth shit, which is a different kind of. It's more choppy and angular, and the bass is you have the more of the
sliding
attack
to the
and
notes and attack.
There's more color to it.
It's a completely different. So I think when
it changes
Dylan came into the mix, it gave it
a little less ambience to a little more.
It was more punchy and more just up front. I feel like maybe our tempo increased a little bit, and like
it definitely
could be just
did.
And
I
more.
remember starting out being like
loud.
I did not know how to play slow. I was always just like So like even now I still struggle to play slow.
It is hard to hone things back when you come from that, especially fast, louder music to like.
I'd have to say that was definitely me when I joined House of I.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of songs that were like just slower, and I was like, no, not this one.
Hard.
Maybe another one, but not this one.
This band made me question my drumming. I never did in punk rock. I was just like, oh, caveman just rip the sticks full like.
If you break a stick, you had a good show.
Oh yeah. But now it's just so different, and like trying to learn technique after playing drums wrong for so long,
I don't know if wrong, man. That's not the right word.
Well,
you're right. I get what you're saying though.
Yeah, man. Just like totally self-taught, even I'm not like really good with social media or any technology whatsoever, so like I just like listen to music and then try to recreate it, and that's what I did forever. I never like watched any instructional video or anything like.
You never took classes or
nothing like that, and then I started playing drums because one kid we were jamming with like fell out, and I was like, oh shit, and he left his drum set, and I just like kind of claimed it. And we needed a drummer, so I was like, and I like could do like the most basic beats, so we started doing that, and then I ended up being drummer by default, and I played like bass in middle school, started playing bass in the school band, and then got a 6th string and played that a little bit.
Like jazz band? Were you playing jazz?
No, it was just like band, like we would do Ode to Joy, like Beethoven.
Yeah.
So
you were trained in playing like bass guitar, basically.
Classically trained.
Yeah.
Classically trained. That's
not
not true, because I sat next to there was 2 kids that wanted to play guitar, and we were told we could play guitar, and then once the band instructor, like we met him, he was like, no, it's bass guitar. So we both got bass guitars, and I never learned how to read music. I just looked at him. He learned it. And I just was like, oh, okay. And then I was like the fastest on the scales. Like everybody would be like, oh, damn. I'd be like, bum, ba-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum, and the arpeggio, ba-da-da-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. And
more the coordination than the
so I never like
I
made it through band retard style. I like refuse to like do that in my time off. Like, go home and practice. Watch this kid.
That's
like
too,
watch
man.
this kid. He's doing it, and he's doing it slow, and so like after watching him, I would just like play what he plays. And that's how I got through band. But then drummer by default with punk rock stuff a couple of years later.
Drummer by default.
I think that was 9th grade. Yeah.
So that's when you started playing drums, 9th grade. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Then,
that's cool.
Should be way better by now. I'm 34.
And then credit where credit's due. Chaz is like the musician, in the band. I'm not trying to put you on blast, Chaz, but JJ and I think for me especially, like just starting to play in this band really, and coming from like my punk rock roots, it's really pushed, me to want to do more with finding my tones and, learning more music theory and just pushing myself further as a musician. I've probably pushed harder in the last year and a half than I have the 10 before it.
Yeah.
Jazz
That's
will
awesome.
do that to you.
And
That
it's,
Chaz has a lot of weird ideas that throw
What
you
is
off.
what does Chaz have to say about this?
I don't know. What does
Chaz ain't gonna talk about how
What is-
cool he is.
Come on,
if that's
Chaz.
what you're trying to
Come
get
on.
at.
Are you talking about like how I started playing music?
Oh yeah,
Sure,
yeah. Let's
let's
start
start
with
from
that.
there.
You go.
Let's
That's
start
a good
with
way to
that.
describe how
Tell them
cool.
about the
Go ahead.
blackout days.
I think I played. I mean, I started when I was
Oh,
like
yeah,
early, like
skip
the same
that
age
part.
as you, maybe like middle school, like
Yeah.
13.
I think I was 11 when I got my bass
Okay.
guitar.
Yeah. So I feel like I had like the guitar had a draw to me always. Yeah. I really liked Elvis when I was like really young too.
Oh yeah.
But but I eventually got started with an acoustic guitar and took a couple lessons and learned chords, learned a couple songs, and then just kept fucking doing it. And then
Isn't Elvis a racist cop though?
I don't know. But he
No,
wrote some
I
good
think
songs.
I think he was just a racist.
But I'm pretty sure some podunk
That's what he wants
town.
to.
I'm pretty sure some podunk town gave him a sheriff's badge. If you
That's
look it
funny.
up.
I
Was he
wouldn't know
racist
that.
for real?
I don't know.
Because he
He-
played.
If I were gonna put
Technically,
money down,
didn't he work
he
for the
was
CIA?
probably a racist.
Like Nixon
Really?
set him up
I
for the
mean,
CIA.
I thought
I'm
like.
I'm sorry.
Texas.
Wait. Chaz plays
Maybe,
guitars.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm fine with going on this tangent here. We can talk
Yeah,
about Elvis.
that's true. That's true. So
Yeah.
you started playing
Fine
guitar,
with
right?
that.
No, Elvis. Is
No, you're
actually
not
really-
getting out of this. bro.
Elvis.
So
No, Elvis was a liberal. He was dancing all.
Chasing that
Well,
bitch.
didn't
Yeah.
he technically take like wasn't his inspiration from all like the black artists in the
gospel
time?
Oh,
music.
yeah.
He started
Oh, yeah.
singing gospel.
But
Yeah,
did he
I think
know
that's
that,
really
though?
good.
That was that
So-
period of time where everything was a gospel song sped up.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
they just
true.
changed the lyrics and they're like, blasphemy.
Dang it!
So,
I just
yeah, he
feel
was
like
a
we're
liberal.
getting away from
Backtrack,
Chaz's
can you edit that one part where I
musical
call him a
history,
racist?
though.
I'm pretty sure he's a cop, though. You can-
No, I mean, but we could just say. I mean, honestly, like we don't know that. Obviously, it's just like
Yeah, don't
who
fact
knows?
check us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
idea.
He
We
was
don't know that.
doing
Check
like
out
covert. He wanted to do covert stuff. I think for the CIA or the
Yeah.
FBI.
Are you
with, like,
serious,
Nixon.
for real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was
Yeah.
super into
I think he was.
But
like,
he's
threaded
Elvis, so
into
why
some
would you
kind of
take
shit.
him, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone knew what
I mean,
he
he's
looked like.
very
Yeah,
American as it
yeah.
get as Elvis. He's American as fuck.
Well, it's like that
that's-
guy,
yeah.
the singer
Elvis is
from
looking
Blink
at us through
182.
binoculars.
Sure.
Who's that guy from Blink 182?
I don't know
the
what his
singer?
name
Travis
is, but
Tom or
Tom,
Tom
right?
Mark.
Tom.
Mark. No, Tom DeLonge.
Yeah, it's him. Yeah,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
he's like super into like the alien stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that where he claims that he works with the CIA and the FBI.
Maybe
probably
yeah.
doesn't,
So
though.
I mean, it was just
I saw something
yeah.
about like he sent dozens of emails to the Clinton administration about like all this alien stuff that he'd witnessed, and I don't know. I guess
If I were
Tom
gonna put
DeLonge was,
money
like,
down,
sending
he's
stuff to
probably
Hillary
wrong.
Clinton about like UFO intelligence and stuff.
Tom
He's
DeLonge.
probably wrong, but aliens are probably real.
Yeah,
You think
no,
Travis
absolutely.
Barker and Mark Hoppus
But
are
exactly
different?
what
I've
he's
never seen
saying,
any
though, if I were a
Probably
betting
not.
person, I'd be like, nah.
He's right about
I
that.
just feel
Yeah.
He's right about there being
that they
aliens.
exist. But wait, so going back.
Okay,
Yes.
so where are we right now? I'm
Sorry.
still like just finding the guitar.
Elvis is a racist. Tom DeLonge not saying. How did you start playing
Pass
guitar?
That's what I feel like I learned some Blink-182. Those were probably some of my first songs I learned to play. Damn it. Yeah. The
That's one of the first things I learned.
Love the fucking Ramones.
I think
loved
the first song was Dun Green
Green Day.
Yeah.
Brain Stew.
Classic.
Brain Stew, yeah.
Dun-dun.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Drugs Are Good by No Effects was the first guitar song I ever learned.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, No Effects.
My buddy
too.
Dan,
It's
Nitrous Dad.
Yeah, that's cool.
classic.
Nitrous Dad.
What's like your favorite band?
Man, I don't know.
The OCs.
Well, you
for
should
me-
know this. Chaz, come on, man.
I know it's hard. I feel like it's changed. I don't know.
Tell them.
The first band that came to your mind when I asked you the
I
question was probably
really,
the right
I loved
Yeah.
the Red Hot Chili Peppers when I was a kid. The OCs
Nice.
are really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
like those guys. It's a weird thing though, because it's like I feel like it can change.
He shows me a lot of music. Brian Eno. It's like
Endless.
gospel to black metal, like that full spectrum.
Yeah.
Just
That's good though. It's
everything
good to have
into good music and bad music.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some stuff that you're
Yeah.
not that you don't
Yeah.
care for.
It's-
Yeah.
I think it's about just stuff that kind of like turned you on to music, and it's hard to like go back. I mean, there's different times in my life where like certain music like affected my life, and but I don't listen to it anymore. You
Yeah.
know? So it's hard to like
same with me.
pinpoint into one thing and how much of an impact it had, or like, you know, what, or maybe what's. I don't feel like I ride on like a favorite right now either. It can kind of.
I get what you're
That's
saying.
interesting, though.
I've never been on a favorite, but now
Yeah.
I'm on a favorite with the OCs. I just struggle to hear any song that's cooler. I like the other bands, all the other bands, most of them.
All the
But
bands.
but good lord,
Big fan
the
of every
OCs, they just do it.
They
as-
do
They
do
do it
things
as
to
cool
you,
as
man?
things can be done.
Yeah.
They
for
do
me.
things to him, man.
It's as cool as
Well-
it gets for me.
Excuse me, Miss Sneeze.
I thought you were gonna yawn.
And it's you. Okay, milk, pony cheese.
You don't do an
Pony
ugly.
cheese.
Woo!
Does it every time.
Cheese pony.
Now I have a
That's-
headache.
All up here.
Right here.
God damn it! I wanted to sneeze so bad. That was gonna feel great. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, well, funny enough, like I started playing late as well, Dylan.
I know, right?
I started playing when I was 15. My first love of music was hip hop and rap, actually.
Mm.
I didn't get into, I guess, rock until like high school or whatever. And the first love was like the Beatles for me.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And-
I actually listened to a lot of Beatles with my mom. My mom was a huge Beatles fan.
Dude, I remember
Preschool.
finding the Beatles at the library as
Going-
9, 10
yeah.
years old. Like Abbey Road. God, there was like the White Album. Like they had the CDs at the library. I remember listening to a couple of those, and just the fuck like Rubber Soul. Like I remember listening to like Maxwell's Silver Hammer, and just being like,
Yes.
that is such a
Yeah.
you know, it was like a horror movie as a song. Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Like just some of the, I mean, trippy shit, you know, which like, yeah.
There's not really, like, if you think about it too, like, just that song, for example, like, can you even think of an artist that has done something like that now?
No,
I can't.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you got to think
Yeah,
in
you're right.
context too, and that's what people don't
Yeah, it's
put
so
give into
before its
consideration because they feel like it's been shoved down their throat for so long. But like the context of something like that happening when it did, or if you think about like just like the heavy, like when Black Sabbath came. I mean, now Black Sabbath still sounds heavy
Yeah,
as
it's so
fuck.
great. Yeah, it's so
But
fucking
you
awesome.
think about like
When that
some
started in,
fucking
what was that,
hippies
late
like
60s?
chilling out like in 1968, like all mellow and just and Black Sabbath comes and like
Yeah.
like what? Yeah.
What do you-
Just-
what do you
Drinking black
think-
bat
Yeah.
blood in front of people?
Yeah.
What do you think, like,
I mean, there's no you have to have almost like a historical context with bands like that
Yeah.
to really like
Yeah.
appreciate like how
You saw
fucking
how
out
busy
there
I
some of
was
that
getting?
shit was, you know.
Oh my
so
God.
much of it.
What do you think
I'm gonna
inspired
clear
that
your
for them?
table when I go to the
Yeah, who
bathroom in a
knows?
minute.
I
I'll wait for
mean,
Dylan to
Like,
come out.
like,
Yeah.
what would make someone think to play that? You know what I'm saying? Like, where are they grabbing that from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just like literally like, oh, this I just by happen had some sort of like crunchiness. All the beers are mine. It's just like,
All the empty beers. Wait, you missed one. He's being nice. He's being
I'm
nice.
gonna throw him away when Dylan gets out of the bathroom. I'm
No.
gonna take a turn.
They might.
But
be
wait, we were
always-
talking about Sabbath or something? Or
yeah,
what?
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, where that even came from. Like thinking, let me fucking throw like some fucking distortion on this bitch and just like write a
yeah.
song
Yeah.
like that. You know, like where
Yeah.
does that come
That's
from?
what I'm saying. That
Because
is
fucking Ozzy was a huge
high
Beatles
in the
fan.
air.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And a lot of their stuff is
Good
kind
transition.
of like religious and like it's not like I don't know. I guess if you think about it in the opposite context, but it's almost like some of their shit's pretty positive. Really, I think it just like it's associated with the
The thing is, though, if you
stigma
think
of the
about
music
it, though,
because it shocked people so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
But
I'll get
just
it.
leave it. It's fine.
yeah,
If you think about it, though, adding distortion to something doesn't really change.
I think back then it was
Yeah.
maybe sheer volume because like
That's
or like
true.
like the Who like they were literally like just making people go deaf.
And they
you know?
definitely weren't dark, right?
So, but
Yeah, and a
but
lot of
I
those
think
bands
Sabbath
were just
did
like
that too.
pushing little like
Yeah.
AC30s and stuff to the absolute
Just
limit.
crushing.
And break up
Yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
little
But also,
30 watt
like-
combo amp driving it to the max.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it comes from people wanting to, like, just kind of leave an impact and you know, who knows? That's a weird thing to consider,
think,
like
yeah.
where that you know,
Where it came from?
Yeah.
Maybe it came from Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
Why would
Who
it be
knows?
that?
Because that was like the Beatles' like hardest song.
Well, Paul McCartney set out to write like the heaviest song ever with
Yeah.
Helter Skelter, and then my opinion, what crushed it like not even a year later was a 21st Century Schizoid Man like King Crimson.
I haven't heard that.
Oh, that's
Yeah, they have
classic.
some really heavy. That's like heavy prog kind of stuff.
Yeah, like
Really?
late '60s
Yeah.
prog. And
So
yeah, they
before
really laid the
Sabbath,
ground.
technically.
Around the same time, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Or like the first Pink Floyd album, some of that shit too. Like just.
I really,
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't care for the Beatles.
Mhm.
I'm not a Beatles fan.
Yeah.
I'm
And that's
picking
maybe
up-
one of those things that comes from like being a kid, maybe too. Like I think about like Star Wars. Like I don't know if I would be like I'm not like into Star Wars, but like I.
Even
Yeah,
if
it's
like
holds
one of
apart
those
with
if
me
they were
'cause I loved it as
you
a
know, in
kid.
childhood, you hold it near
Maybe,
and dear,
yeah.
and if they weren't
I don't
as
know.
much, you just
God,
Yeah,
I mean
like-
it's. Yeah.
They're a
I
hard
feel
band
like
to get
I
on
feel like the
later in
Beatles are a
life.
thing that are passed on, which is great, which is cool.
Mhm.
A daughter sitting there with her mom listening to the fucking Beatles and they fucking love it. That's fucking great. I'm not a dick like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's great. Song with his pops. Let me show you this fucking song. It's great.
Yeah.
That's cool. Me, nah. I've just
Overrated?
never.
Yeah.
I don't
What
want
about
to
the
say that.
Stones?
I
Will
don't.
you take the Stones
no,
over the Beatles?
I don't take the Stones over.
What about the Who? What about the Kinks?
No, either.
No
She
British
doesn't like
rock
old
bands.
music at all, dude.
I like Jimi Hendrix. You
Oh,
can
Jimi
go.
Hendrix,
You
that's
can go.
fair.
Fuck yourself, son. No, but no, I don't.
We can all agree that Jimi Hendrix is the shit, right? Is that
Right?
unanimous?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But no, I don't know. I don't like the concept of being told that I should like something just because.
True. Yeah.
Right? They're the Beatles. You have
Yeah.
to like them. No, that
Yeah, I feel like
automatically
they-
makes me not want to like
In
them.
Mosquito Teeth, we used to talk mad shit about the Beatles. Well, I didn't. But, like, the punk rock thing, like, if you ask Brian about the Beatles...
Yeah,
Fuck the Beatles.
Should I bring that up next time I see
Well,
Brian?
I'm just saying, yeah.
He might get.
Yeah,
he
so,
might
like,
get hostile.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
it's
it was just...
Well, it's
yeah.
the status quo. So in punk,
Yeah.
And it's
in
not that he doesn't like the Beatles, he just... It was what Mosquito Teeth was shocking. You want to hear the exact opposite
Right,
of what...
right, yeah,
Yeah.
the antithesis of the counter.
I don't know, man. I
Uh-huh.
can't really put my finger
Just
on
make
it. I
people
can't
angry.
explain it to people. I don't. It doesn't blow my mind.
Why
The
not?
Pixies have blown my mind.
Mhm.
Modest Mouse have blown my mind. Radiohead have blown my mind.
No,
I mean,
get it.
fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers have blown my mind. Like I have to stop what I'm doing and go, what the
Yeah,
fuck
when you
was
see...
that?
When
I
you
think
watch
even the
someone
The
concept
play
Beatles have
of the
never
live-
done
band-
that. The Beatles have never done
The
that.
concept of there being a band, or any of those bands existing, stem from the Beatles.
yeah, the Beatles
And that's
laid
the
groundwork.
argument that
That's what it
everyone
is.
gives me, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Because I think it really did.
I can't argue
It
that,
made
so.
people think that they could do it, and
That's
and
why they did it.
Yeah, 'cause
all
it
these
was all
bands
simple
stemmed
and
from
easy and
seeing that,
pretty
and people, and there's so much good music of just bands that did like one album that wanted to be the Beatles, but they're probably better, you know. Like
Yeah.
there's so much shit out
Like
there.
technique-wise, they're probably better.
Or yeah, or
So
they wrote
my
better
only-
songs, but it never made the light of day.
Right.
You know, so I think just in the sense that it was on TV and it like made young people like feel a certain
Like they
way
could.
and made them want to start bands or fuck each other or whatever they got out
Probably
of that
fuck each
energy
other.
from that music. You know, there's something to be.
The only thing that gets me
appreciated
though
from
with
that.
that argument about the Beatles is like if it wasn't the Beatles, it'd be anyone else. So
Yeah.
you'd be having the same fucking discussion
Okay.
about anyone else. The Beatles just happen to get really
limelight
fucking
there?
lucky. Really fucking lucky. Because if any other band had come out and
Ringo.
done that way,
Ringo Starr wasn't that great, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Well, he's
the fact
totally
that it
great.
has nothing to do with technique,
I feel like he would have been
like
that.
even proves that point that anyone
Better drummer
could
than
have
me.
come out and done it. Honestly.
I don't know.
I think it has more.
yeah, see that when it's
Debatable.
questionable, it's like, all right, fuck Ringo.
I think it has more to do with the
Fuck it.
songwriting.
Yeah.
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 Say again?
I think it has more to do with the songwriting, not the
That's
skill,
yeah, that's
you know?
exactly what Chaz was saying when you were in
in the bathroom
Taking a piss.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was
No, I
saying
don't
that
You know, it's
it
like
was
Bob
like
Dylan. Nobody listened to him for his voice. It was all for the lyrics and the stories and the
Yeah.
I don't
songs,
listen to him
you
either,
know
bro.
what I mean?
It's
My
true.
namesake.
I don't.
Come on.
Yeah,
But
it
if you
made,
sang
it made
those songs
people
with
think
any
we
other
can do
voice,
this,
it wouldn't
you know,
be
like,
the song wouldn't be what
That's
it
true.
was either.
And that's
So
exactly what
it's-
I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, this is easy.
No, man, I don't know. I can't put it into words. I can't.
Yeah.
So when people question me about it, I can't give you a
You can't- you
logical
don't-
explanation
you don't-
about it. But I just it
you
doesn't
don't
make
like
me
what
feel.
you don't like.
Yeah,
It doesn't make
And
me
how you
feel
gonna
any
explain
sort
that
of
to
way like
someone?
it
What
makes other
is there
people
music
feel.
that you draw from the past, like the past like 30, 40 years that influence it? Like, I mean,
Damn, that's a good
What's like
question.
the
It's-
oldest your musical roots go?
because you have to like really appreciate any of it for like for it making the thing that you like now too. You know, like
I mean, I would have to say
all
Jimi
of-
Hendrix is huge.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah,
Jimi
you guys
Hendrix
got
is
a
huge.
real like kind of old school psych rocky
Yeah,
feel, but it's
Yeah.
real
definitely
new
hear
and
that.
tight though.
I don't know if that's just
because
me.
it's not jammy.
Yeah.
You know? It's like got its
because
it's got-
it is a song, right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
got its parts, and it's not jammy, but it's super old, psyche, rocky vibe.
That makes sense too, because if you saw us like next week, we wouldn't sound like what you guys heard. Because
Yeah.
I don't play like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just the fact that I like, that kind of jammy.
Yeah, and
drumming
if you're
kind
even
of thing.
influenced by the Pixies, say like who they're influenced by is going to be their sound, and
Exactly.
who are their people, and like somehow you are connected to some of that music, and you have a connection down there to it, And what's awesome is it's all fucking out there.
We're all
you can listen
influenced
to
by
any
tribal
music
drumming.
right now. I just feel like that's such a if there's one thing to be grateful for with all the oversharing of information. It's like you can listen to any song pretty much right
Yeah.
That's
now.
gotta
Like,
be
it's
the
on
best part about
anything.
it.
I remember like
It's
looking
all
through catalogs
out
and like
there.
ordering CDs as a kid and be like, I want the Misfits one, and then
Yeah.
get it and it's like, ooh, that was the wrong one.
Yeah, you had to hunt it
God
down.
damn
Which
it.
there's something to that too, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you're financially motivated to listen to an album, it's a
Mhm.
different experience than if you can just like listen to it on YouTube and
I
never
try
listen
to
it
do
again.
that when I am on
For
YouTube.
free.
I listen to full albums
Yeah.
Mhm.
just to see where they're going with it.
That's a dying thing too, like nowadays. Like I feel like maybe us as musicians, like we like to listen to albums, but I do feel like the consumer, like people that would be fans that don't play music, for example, like I
Dude,
feel
if
like
if your song's more than 3 minutes,
it's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like that's kind of a question that I wanted to ask you guys too. Is like with all this new technology coming out like that, like do you feel like do you find it harder or easier to be a band to like for us personally, like we do have intentions of making it a career. I mean, not being rich per se, but at least being able to quit our day jobs, at some point. I don't know, that's like it's a hard thing to do and maybe impossible, but it's definitely like my goal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys thoughts on that are, but
Yeah.
well, I like to make sure it's fun and that it's something that comes easy and stuff. Of course, I would love to just, instead of going to work on music all day, every day. That would be a dream, but when you get too caught up in that too, I'm 34, I want to make sure it's fun first off rip,
that's true.
So if you got to find that balance right in there.
Yeah.
Yep, and we're pretty new, and I don't hear anybody doing the things we're doing. Same thing with y'all. So if we could get to that point, that would be teats.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Do you find, and I guess this is for all you guys, do you find that having that goal, like, do you think that goal is necessary to have in order to be motivated to move further along in your career, whether it be, because I know a lot of people say that they just want to play, but sometimes that can just mean like not necessarily picking the right shows to like kind of move further, you know what I'm saying, like to expand more. Do you get what I'm saying?
Chaz is in that mode.
Okay.
Chaz is in that mode. Sorry for speaking for you, but he wants to make sure that we're doing the things the way that the whole vision of the sound you know, like it's kind of linked up with shows that people are playing with, and you know, so yeah, it's not like just booking with whoever and playing wherever and getting out there as much as possible. It's we want to be in a setting where it represents us the way we
where it
want
makes
to.
And
sense.
in different ways too. Like, I think you just mentioned that too. Like, where we have enough music, and our songs, a lot of them are long enough where we can fill up a set with like 4 or 5 songs, and we have a lot more than that. So we can choose shows and decide what we're gonna play and set a vibe and have it be part of this thing. But it's not gonna be the same thing every time. We're not gonna play the same set over and over and over again to the same people at the same places. Like, to some degree though, you're always doing that, I guess.
Did that for
like
10 years.
depending how much you break it down. But you know, like we played like the show with you guys, and it was like a really mellow kind of like, you know, I don't know what you call it, DIY kind of thing, and you know, we're gonna play a metal show in September, and like, you know, we played, you know, with different kinds of bands and different styles, and I like that about it, to where we can have that conversation and you know, I mean, we don't want to be playing Jimmy Buffett covers at a bar. Like, I mean, there's
there's some boundary there. Yeah. Lately, we haven't played a whole lot of shows, so we're gonna pick up a couple here and just get out there. And if there's one person that likes it at the show and you know ends up listening to the album or something, then it'll be worth it for us for now. You know.
I agree. I mean, I like just having a show with someone there is always like, I played at places where there's literally nobody.
Yeah, I've done that. I've driven to Orlando and played to maybe the other band.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done that a few hundred times.
No offense to that band that's playing to no one, right? I mean, technically.
Yeah.
They are people. We're acknowledging
They
they're
just-
people.
But
they're
happen to be there.
They're
Sentient
also
beings
so
that are
used to
there,
that
but-
same situation that they're at the bar not looking. So
Exactly.
That's
They're like,
It's
dude,
the same
going
thing
right
we
through.
did when they played.
Exactly. They're sitting there
I'm
going,
gonna go have a
this
smoke.
blows,
All right,
and then we're
cool.
gonna get
That
off
song was
stage.
pretty cool.
Same thing,
It
man.
is yeah, it's funny because like I feel like there might be a misconception of like the idea that I'm not happy I'm not happy at the level that I'm at now, which I am. I am happy, but I do have intentions of it going further, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the only reason why I even say that is because there's people that are like, you should have no expectations of this. You know,
Or
you get what I'm
don't
saying?
think that your expectations, you've already met your expectations. Like, don't ever think that, like, don't rest on your laurels and think
Michelangelo.
that you've accomplished something already when you can fucking keep
Exactly.
setting that bar higher and keep going past that next threshold.
And that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Pushing yourself.
Like, do you?
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of like my question. Like, do you think then, like, you should give yourself some sort of like
I
goal
think it's
/
just like
expectation, you
for
know?
me it's such like I don't feel like I even have a choice but to write music and to play it, and it makes me feel good, and I just want to do that as much as I can.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm satisfied with playing fun shows with, at cool spots, whether it be DIY or bar. I'm like, that's the cool thing about this band is we've played like a lot of like record stores and like things that
Not
were
just bars.
not just bars.
Yeah.
Like people, if you want to bring your beer to some of these places, they let you bring a beer or whatever. But the people are there for the music, so like, I like that aspect.
Which
of this
comes,
band.
I think, from
Which-
where we
and that's-
started with all
it's
this shit.
satisfying when you
shows.
look up and you see 30 people enjoying your music, and with everything being diluted the way it is now, you see some shredders that are just playing, the same bar over and over again, so it kind of defeats you a little bit, but like I said, if we had a chance to do that, we would. I mean, we had some guy when we first started playing that was a producer that contacted us, and he worked on like Pink Floyd albums.
He did a
and
Ramones album.
Oh, okay,
he'd
yeah.
done
Yeah.
Ramones.
Later
Yeah.
Ramones album.
Okay, late
Yeah.
Ramones. So like some
But
guy like
we're-
contacted us,
that's
and
what-
then he was like, you guys should just chop up these songs like this and make your 7-minute song a 3
He
minute.
came
like,
to our first show with a
take out
computer
a
and
verse
interface,
or
like
repeat
mic'd
a
the room,
chorus or-
recorded it, and
Yeah.
then he like started chopping up our songs, and he's like, "This
Had
is how you
a
make
really
it a
nice
radio song."
state-of-the-art
And this
recording
is-
studio. I think just you and I went.
Yeah,
Chaz
and he
and
offered to
got-
record it for
Because
free.
yeah.
I thought he was full of shit, and I was like, "You guys go
It was
check this shit out."
super nice
Right?
recording
Like, I
studio,
like-
but we
yeah,
turned him
I
down
could-
because he
yeah.
seriously wanted to just chop our songs, and you could tell he was gonna like tell us what to do.
What to do? Yeah, no.
And,
Yeah,
Fuck
that's
that.
not.
and it was like kind of like it was like, oh shit, okay, cool, we're gonna get like a little free ride, and this dude like has like his name on some professional shit, you know, and we all thought he was
I
full
thought
of
he was full of shit until I googled him.
And
We'll never really know
Yeah,
if he
yeah,
was.
yeah.
No, I
so,
saw
like,
his.
basically what the deal
He's got
was
credits.
when we went down there and talked to him
Mhm.
is his son was getting into recording, and he hadn't done any live bands before.
So you wanted to like look over
So
his
he
son's
had basically
shoulder and
taken
produce
all of
a
his
band's
wealth and
song,
everything and made this state-of-the-art recording studio for his son to get into the industry.
Gotcha.
So like that was like when I saw that, I was like, oh, red flag. I was like, okay. And then he was like, yeah. No, he seriously took our live recording and edited it and to the way he wanted it, and chopped the verses and the choruses and where he wanted them and stuff. And I was like,
made our
like
7-minute
couple
songs,
red
3.5-minute
flags,
pop
you know.
songs.
So like that's that balance of like, do you want to go down that road and like work with these people that, you know, like you have these people have some recognition and
I
they're willing
tried
to
doing
put
the
like
cover
money
band
into
thing
you.
for like 6 months and playing other people's songs
If
in
you-
bars for
if
money
you
at the end of the
can-
night is miserable.
If
I'll
you
never
can
do
get to
it
the
again.
top, if you can
Not
get to
anymore.
the top DIY,
Gotcha.
then that's the way to do it. You know, if you got these
Right.
other folks in there putting their money, if they because they're only in it to, they don't care. They want to make money.
Oh, you son of
Just
a
let it.
bitch.
I
Yeah, it should
think
be
just
okay.
let
Fine.
it drop. I think.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I totally agree with that though, cause like when we were younger, we started. I mean, we've been playing for a minute now. When we were younger, like I guess being a young band and like kind of being somewhat like okay, you know, people were like, oh wow, you have a lot of promise, and like I remember walking into a studio and the guy was basically telling us, you know, like you guys will make it if you play, if I help you write songs. And that was just like, no, why would
Yeah.
we do that? Like,
Who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
I-
Like, that doesn't, it just
Number
made no
one,
sense.
who even are you?
Yeah, like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a
it
very
was-
bold
Yeah,
thing to.
his thing, his
Yeah.
pitch was for us was like, he's like, okay, take this one song I like, that's this long, let's make it, you know, half as short.
Music doesn't even fucking
And
work
once
like
they
that.
like this,
It's
once they
not-
like this,
yeah,
then
I don't-
they'll catch on
at
and,
this
and
level.
like the other
No.
things. You're like, I was like,
Yeah.
you know what? I was
It
like,
should
all that.
always, it should always
a
be
couple of red
organic.
flags, yeah.
You know, and I don't, I'm not trying to talk shit, but my mom kind of comes and she'll probably listen to this, and it's fine. I hope you heard this, Mom.
Sorry, I
Hi.
swear so much, Mom.
Hi,
She's,
Lila.
you know,
Swear
she's
way too
invested.
much.
I'm sure you're a very nice lady.
She is very nice. I love her, obviously to death. But she's invested in the band. It's cool. I'm glad that she is, and she supports us. But she also comes from like a very business like background, and like you know, she'll be like, write a song that you think people will like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I think I do that already. Like just like organically,
Yeah,
like songs that I write.
because the song you write, you like, so
Exactly.
Why
No, but
wouldn't-
exactly. She
Yeah.
means like purposely write a.
That's how to.
Pop
That's how to.
song.
Every
That's the whole.
person would like.
That's
That every
not.
person
Yeah.
would
That's
like.
not the
Depends
reason
on
to
the
write a
person
song.
that
Exactly,
you want
yeah,
to like
exactly.
it. You want the person to be, the person that
then
you
she'll-
think you are listening to it, or just the, that's a whole different thing. It's
Yeah.
people. That's more people
Yeah.
than a person.
Exactly.
I've written songs like just kind of crappy little songs on acoustic guitar lyrics and stuff, and I am embarrassed of playing with in front of anybody. They're for myself, like
Gotcha,
little
yeah.
things that I'll do, and I'm just like that one's for me. But
That
Yeah.
that's the one I
Awesome.
play at home by myself.
And that's fine. Like
Yeah.
that's cool. Like
Yeah.
I have songs like that too. Like I have, like I think like it's a weird thing where people might have this like keep saying this word, but like this misconception. Like I don't like I like pop, man. It's not like I have no problems with pop. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna write something like almost like a fucking what would you say like a
song
like a formula. You know what I'm saying? Like oh this formulaic pop song. So
Yeah.
that people I make sure people are like yeah I like that. It's like
Yeah.
I would never want to do
Sounds
that.
conceited, but we all could.
Yeah.
Maybe, I
Like
don't
like
know.
we're sitting at this table right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's like we
We
could
go through the formula.
we could literally
potential's
write
there.
something that everyone would be like gobble 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 gobble, right?
All right,
It's
maybe
just
we
like, that's
should.
not the point, though.
You
That's
need
not
the
the
vehicle
point.
to
Got
get
a
that.
whole lot of instruments right there.
right?
You need a vessel to get that people to gobble it to. You have to
Yeah.
have to have a lot behind you
I
to
think-
shove that down
I
people's
think
throats.
that there-
you know?
I
I
think
guess
that
I
there's a
guess like the
good-
media
Yeah.
wise, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
song
I
itself.
don't even think the song matters. Yeah, exactly.
That's true, but
Yeah.
we could write that song.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't
totally,
fucking matter.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like we
There's
could
like-
literally do that right now.
Yeah.
There's
Or it'd be
always a
like-
revival of something, you know. Like there was a revival of punk rock, like in the '90s. It was punk rock. All the kids were punk rock. Like when I grew up, it was skateboard punk rock. There was no like rockabilly, like even like subgenres of punk rock. And now it's just like blown up, and it's all everything's just like post punk, and like anything can be cool now. You know, like so I feel like, you know.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, everybody's open-minded, you know? I mean, there was a long time where, you know, if it wasn't punk rock, I wasn't going to give it a chance, you know? Like, but I feel like everybody's in that mode now where it's just like everything's cool,
Yeah.
you know? Like everybody's trying all sorts of stuff. Even
Well,
the
shit's
kids, even the
good,
kids
too, though.
now, like
It
young
evens
kids are
playing
just
field.
into old school stuff, and that, you know, just, you know, even like the new like mumble rap stuff, like they go between that and then like old psych rock, and like, so like, yeah, it's all over the place now, so like it's hard to find that pocket anyway nowadays. So
I think it's cool because there's just like an easier access to music now. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
all these subgenres are blowing up because now people can
but
home
there's
record
no like
or
who
put music
got
out there,
signed
so
to
there's
Columbia Records this year? Like nobody, probably, right? Or-
I'm
it's
sure
not
somebody
like
did.
that anymore. You know?
Yeah.
It's gonna be DIY or nothing.
The power is definitely in the artist, but it all like you're also kind of beholden now to how saturated the internet is with other musicians.
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Just think about like even just today, how many new albums probably came out today?
Yeah,
New
true.
songs.
While we
Yeah.
were doing
I didn't even
this,
think of that. But that's
Yeah.
so
Well, and,
funny.
You know, talk
So
about
many.
like writing songs that people
Yeah.
will like. I think if you write the songs that you like, and you know it happens organically, you like it, other people will like it. Some different
Oh, yeah.
styles are going to catch more people than others.
Yeah.
But you know, I feel like every song written has the potential to be liked by other humans. It's just, you know, who it reaches and who it grabs.
Yeah.
The timing.
Yeah.
And, the time and place of it. Yeah.
Doing
And-
something new doesn't hurt.
Mhm.
No, I don't think so. No.
So yeah, if you're doing something new, that's where.
That's probably better. I mean, honestly, like.
So if you maybe everybody should meditate on new genre.
Mhm.
Right
Like you
now.
mean listening or just writing new?
The
new
way
music?
you do it, yeah.
Everything.
If it's something brand new, then it's gonna get noticed. If you like it and it's brand
Yeah.
new, it's gonna get noticed. Like that's the thing. Is like when you have never seen that before, you're like, oh you know.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of,
that's the thing. Like the Beatles.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like.
Not
like,
that they were like killing it, but they
Yeah.
were new. You know,
Yeah.
something new.
Like and that's like people have said to us, and it's not like I don't take it as like a not like a negative thing, but we've heard before like, oh, you guys sound like a 90s band. And I don't think of us as a 90s band.
We get that too. The '90s grunge.
Yeah,
Some
I
stuff.
get
That's
that.
why I'm long hair. That's why we get the
Yeah.
That's why
That's
I
probably
I
all
won't
your
wear
fault,
plaid.
Jazz.
I've never worn plaid to a show.
I
That's
think
probably
we
true.
get it because of me.
I don't know. I
Mid
just
tempo and you're like heavy and
Mid-tempo.
Because
Yeah.
I lean into those drums, like I lean
Yeah.
into them, like a
Yeah.
Dave Grohl
Like
would
a-
lean
yeah.
into them,
Right,
like
right.
Yeah,
you know, like Stone Temple Pilots,
you
like
got a
that.
heavy
Just
kick. Your kick is like,
like
do
it's
an air
just like
drum where you start with your left hand on the roll.
it's just it's just a thing. Like I don't know, like those are the drummers that I grew up watching, man. Like they don't just they're not sitting straight going. Right?
Yeah.
No, that is a full blown like just
Yeah.
wail. Like
Talking about
every
full body.
single fucking
Yeah.
hit is
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
felt, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like that's 90s, man. Like that's why I can't go away from that time. Like that is it to me. Like that
Then
is
you know,
music right
There's a
there.
lot of
Keith
clean,
Moon.
There you go,
perfect
it's all
drumming
her
going
fault.
on
It's
down
all
in the
her.
'90s.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
the argument with Keith Moon. Would
Yeah.
he sound good in any other band? Probably not, right? Probably
Yeah.
not. And
I don't
that's
know.
it. Man.
It depends on if you.
Neil Peart would sound good in other bands. He could do it.
Yeah.
I don't think Keith Moon could do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's dead now, so we'll
We
never
can't.
know.
I feel like that's what people would say about me. Wouldn't be able to play without jazz. It would sound like shit.
Well, I mean, you said you were just saying that you felt like, I mean, would you agree that you've had to kind of evolve your playing, right? Like,
Oh,
you had to
yeah,
change it.
definitely.
So then, yeah, you could then.
I
You
didn't
could
even know the concept of a ghost note before this band.
Nice,
And like all that. And I'd never had a practice pad or any of that stuff. I never practiced any rudiments, so I've like gone back and done that, and just like everything. Like once I started doing that stuff, I realized how awful my technique was. So like going back and like learning
it all,
the difference between using your wrists and your fingers, and doing all these different things like that. So yeah, it's definitely changed my whole view on how to play music, and has made it a challenge, which sometimes if you mess up, it's a little bit disappointing. That was the thing about like punk rock. It was like, go hard, drink as many beers as you can. You can't really mess up. It's super easy. But this is like, okay, when we like playing punk shows, it was like, drink as many beers as you want, go as hard as you want, party,
you might mess
whatever.
up.
Like here, it's like you show up to a show and it's like, oh, don't drink any beers for a while. Like you want to be able to do this, you want to be able to feel that, you want to feel it.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to be
signal kind of clear.
Yeah,
to some
you want to.
degree.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole different vibe of how I've played music.
Question.
So yeah.
Do you think that this is harder than playing punk then?
Oh, way harder. Way harder.
Interesting.
If you hear me like doing the really light like little doubles and ghost notes and all that stuff that just sounds so simple, you almost don't hear some of it.
Mhm.
Like it's hard for me to play slow, and I am comfortable with fast tempo stuff.
Yeah.
So like you have all that room in there to mess up.
That's how I see it too,
Between
though.
notes.
It really is how it is to me.
Songs-
There's
the
if I'm
slower
just
songs
like
are just-
dividing it with the
Yeah.
infinitely dividing my
Yeah.
beats. It's like your 30-second note was a millisecond off. It doesn't matter because here's the next one.
Yeah,
Bam.
exactly. Yeah.
But here it's like
That you gotta get that
feel
one.
that vibe, and like
Yeah.
now I'm like learning all the technique, and it's just been seriously the last like because I didn't even when I first started playing with jazz, I was all improv and never got into technique, and just in the last year I got a pad and like started trying to learn my rudiments and stuff like that, and like just relearning everything and realizing that my left hand is like my nemesis.
Yeah.
Like training my left hand, sitting in there doing like triplets with my left hand, trying to build it. Like just I would never have done that with any of the other music.
No,
I
you can't do
played,
that with
yeah.
punk, dude. That's not what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
There's not enough time to put that in there. It's so fast.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
There's no
it's
ghost
just-
notes.
Like you're
Yeah.
just supposed to just.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but your fill, I mean, he's just got these like rapid fire drum fills too. Just the crossing those
Yeah.
toms, like that's the shit that like punk
That's punk,
drummers.
though.
Thank you, Chaz.
Yeah.
Chaz,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I feel like you've been hyping me up a lot.
Chaz
here, so I
can't.
gotta-
Chaz can't do it, so he thinks it's good. But it ain't all that
Classic
good.
jazz.
But that I think.
I'm trying. I'm trying to learn
So
those.
going back.
Have you seen her do a roll, Phil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gets
Both
better,
you guys.
bud.
Yeah.
Nah, I have a hard time with that too, though. Like just
Yeah. Yeah.
hard. It's
I've
hard,
seen you
man.
play the drums.
I think personally, like, and this goes for all three of you guys. I mean, maybe since you kind of grew up more into like I guess playing more things, it might not be this. You kind of like I guess what they were saying is like you are ready, like a great musician. But you guys have had to. I guess you're saying that you guys have kind of had to learn that, is what you're saying.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's but my point is that you at least see that, right? And that's what makes a great musician is that you can see that, and now you're evolving to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that means you're a great musician.
And
Oh,
I
well,
think it's too, because like I'm the one that's like, if it's a song that I don't know, it's hard to really feel like it's that I'm like a good musician. I just wrote some songs and I know how, like I have an idea for how it's easy for me to play them because it just fucking happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I came up.
It's
whatever.
It's not like when we learn the songs. It's not like, oh, these are the notes. Like, you could show us the notes and the pattern and stuff, and it's like we go from there. But then that's not it. It's like those are the notes.
The songs
those
go
are the
through
notes,
many
but
creative iterations.
those are the
and where
notes.
It starts out
but
when we first start jamming
like,
a song.
let's
versus where
dissect it
every
even
single
more.
like the rhythmic stuff too, and that's where that's what I'm saying. I feel like playing with you consistently with the same drummer and bassist, like you figure out how to like
work everybody's strengths.
make it tight and figure out what you want to do with the song and what you want it to feel like. And I think we all want shit to feel heavy or like to hit. So if you can pull it back a little bit before that drop, just like in hip hop music too, you get like big drop, like you need to kind of have the build up, the crescendos, or like slow down before you speed up, and it makes as opposed to having that even keel, whether it be soft or heavy through the whole thing, where it's you already know what's happening the whole time.
That was the thing about the hardcore like stage I went through. It was just all as loud as it
balls
gets.
to the wall.
Yeah, it's just full volume all the time. There's no part where they get down and the singer like it's low.
Yeah, there's a
or
lot of
something.
dynamics in this band.
Yeah, learning that dynamics is what has been very new for me, because really anything else that I was doing was full volume all the time.
Like if you're watching a movie where it's just non-stop action,
like
or
an action
non-stop
movie.
horror or whatever, without that if you watch a movie where nothing happens the whole time and it's just sparse, and then at the very end something happens, it's just a different. Maybe it does have the same kind of, but now, just figuring out.
If Chaz dropped Dylan and I and did his own thing, the oxtail, like he sent me a 45-minute version. He sent me a 45-minute live one take thing of looping, and it was like meditation drone psychedelic guitar shit. That is one of the best things he's probably sent me over the 4 years. And like
Cope was another one.
Like
for
listening
me,
to that, I'm like, okay,
Chaz's
if he would just like get rid of us and do that on his own, then he'd probably just go. And I would be fine with that. I would love to be like, I used to play drums with that guy, and I bet you if we go to the show, he'll let us in for free, and like I'm telling you, there's like
all about the conversation and having.
Yeah, like if you take Chaz out of the band, the songy song structured stuff, then it gets real weird, and it's something that no one's done before.
Nah, the band is everyone, dude. The band is everyone.
Yeah.
Like it's why it's why we were saying like if we had like Kenny leave the band, we wouldn't be House of I anymore.
Well, yeah, no,
like,
he has his own name. It's done. Oxtail.
Like it would be done. We would move on. We would move on to other things. Like
I'll hope for
it
a
would
free
be
ticket, maybe even a plane ride there.
It would be if Kenny left the band, we would be a completely different band. Like literally, it would have to just break down, and we'd have to start all over again. Because
that's how any band is. Like you're gonna want to.
Some bands aren't like that. Some bands are like, you know what, this dude, this goof, whatever. That doesn't matter. If he leaves, whatever. But like, I've honestly not been part of a band that's been like that, where it's just like everyone is essential.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're all part of the.
This is why we sound the way that we sound.
Yeah.
Well then, so
I've been replaced in 2 bands by the same drummer.
Holy shit!
Slade and the Wasters. I broke my. I got.
That's harsh, dude.
I got in a motorcycle wreck, and I broke my collarbone and stuff. And they got a drummer to fill in for a couple shows, and I was like, he's actually a little better than me, so maybe you should just keep him. And I was kind of not liking the vibe of the band anyway. And then after that, Mosquito Teeth. They got the same drummer, Adrian.
He's
fucking.
He's really fucking good.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
The guy is good as fuck, and there's no bad blood, ill manner, or nothing. Like
It was Amber.
Adrian, I see him and I
Yeah.
hug him, and he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like we're buds.
They
And
were.
He fucking
Yeah,
kills it.
he's
So
definitely.
I'm like honored that
Yeah.
he even wants to be in the bands that I was in. Like,
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Obviously, you guys have the same year, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
you guys are both like.
We're.
You guys should just start a band where you both play drums.
That would actually be cool. We could
You
do
guys
the
should start a
seeds,
band
you
where
guys
it's
wanna be
only
in it?
drums.
No, just drums.
You could be the
Only
John-
drums.
We'll get you a haircut and get you a John Dwyer shirt, little short shorts.
Man, you're so on the OC's trip right
Yeah.
now.
Well, going
I've been
going.
plugging them half of this podcast.
Yeah,
A
that's
new
right.
album's coming out.
Well,
Next
they're
month.
they're fucking great. Man.
Yeah,
Like,
they
they're great.
they deserve all the praise.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to what JJ was saying about Chaz as a solo musician. I guess it's more of a question for you. Do you find like that you enjoy playing more with other people than, for example, like maybe like doing your own thing?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's a lot more rewarding. I like playing, with these guys, and I also like playing for like all of us playing for other people with all of us there. I just
Yeah.
think there's a lot more you can do, and there's a lot more we can say, and like as opposed to like it just says more to
You can
see.
express yourself through us.
We express. I think we're just
Tell
all
us what to do,
expressing
Jess.
our own relationship as people, and that's cool to see anybody do. Like the individual people, like they took the time to prepare and like go up there and coordinate the shit and stand up there with
Oh yeah.
these chunks of wood and bang on some shit and like you're putting it out there, and to see other human beings do that. We live in some times where we're all kind of cut off, and that's, there's a lot of self-indulgence and stuff like that. I try not to like even playing on my own like feel that way, but I think it's a lot more rewarding to have a conversation and like show how we can all get on a similar wavelength and also I think that comes with like feeling a connection with just the people that are coming out to the shows and going to other people's shows and feeling and seeing that other people doing that. And I think that's important too, as someone that plays music too, to also be supporting other bands and bringing bands from out of town, like facilitating and helping out each other. There's something to that, I'm definitely not like, there's no like, I'm not trying to push anything on anybody other than like, so we have a good time doing it, and I feel like that's more rewarding and like, it's scarier too, it's like there's more of a risk, but there's more reward to it, because
You're
can
relying
always,
on more moving parts.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
an unknown factor that you can't really control. And, and I'm sure you guys realize this too, like with your band, like just the psychic connection to another person or ESP and like being able to predict what someone's doing or
I had to
have
tell
that.
Dylan less ESP after like a couple months of playing with him. He used to freaking eye me down and tell me stories while he's playing guitar. I'm
Yeah.
like, I gotta play the drums, bud. Like,
Yeah.
less
So
ESP.
there's a balance there. Yeah.
Dude,
He
yeah.
said, "Stop looking at me. Stop." Yeah.
No, it wasn't even that. It was ESP. You were
Yeah.
like, like when you were learning the bass lines or
Yeah.
whatever, like the first little bit,
Yeah.
it was strong ESP. And I was like, bro, I know we're like a
You need to
psychedelic
shut
rock
your fucking
band,
mind.
but turn your mind off a little bit, bro. Let's
Or turn it inward.
turn it in.
Yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
and that has definitely happened. Yeah.
There is
I
the
got better. I
cohesion, and
turned
then
off
there's
the
also
ESP.
Yeah, oh yeah.
being
You
aware
can
of
tell. You can
yourself.
tell if Dylan's
Yeah.
thinking about work or whatever.
Yeah.
It's hard. I drive right from Tampa to a band
Oh,
practice.
dude, yeah. It's
Sometimes works on
It's
my
a
mind.
process. Yeah.
That happens to me too, even on stage sometimes, or like, and not to say like I'm not into it, it's just like I'm thinking about like the next thing, you know. what I'm
Anytime
saying?
I mess up, I'm thinking about like a hi-hat tap I did 3 measures ago.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's usually
that one,
what it is.
You know, like just it's yeah.
Yeah.
And that's that thing about doing the jam with like the linear music where it's like kind of repetitive or whatever, but like, man, you can really just like live in the moment of now and making it sound good and practicing that and not thinking about your abnormal hit or tap or lead was off or something, you know, and just keep going, you know.
It's tough, like especially like I've noticed that whenever we play at a new place and like I'm not familiar with the sound, like sometimes that can be hard for me to like get into it. You get what I'm saying?
Sound
like,
was hard at the last show. Our
that's a
PA
good example.
Was not
that's a
up
good
to
example.
par.
Yeah, so that's actually a really good example because that was the last show that I felt really uncomfortable just because like I wasn't sure how people were hearing us.
Yeah.
And that's something that runs
Same
through
thing
my
with us.
mind.
Right when we started, I heard it cracking in the beginning of our set.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, and it's
no.
hard. It's hard not to
it's
to just not focus.
Yeah, we just started off,
See,
and then
it's
you're
funny.
thinking about that, and then your hits get off. And
Really? How
Yeah,
so?
no, like in practices and everything, I'll think of a million different things, and that's like when I start fucking up my parts, you know, I just have so much on my mind. Live, I think it's years and years of
you
playing
do
shitty
pretty
punk
well
rock
live
shows.
Yeah, you do.
Like with
I think
no
you have a pretty
PA
good,
system.
consistent.
I just default to the drums and I just go.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always
You've
done.
actually
'cause
done pretty well live. Yeah.
Well, you just played a song without your headphones on.
Yeah.
Like without hearing yourself. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
That's kind of how
That's
we do
pretty
things.
defaulting
That's
to
how
the
we
drums.
record. You can't hear yourself.
If that happened, if that happened to me while I was playing, I wouldn't have been able to do it.
Yeah.
I can't just see the guitar and be like, I know.
Yeah,
that
I didn't
this
mean
is
to
right.
stop in that one, but like second person when the reverb kicked on or whatever, I was like, whoa, we gotta wrap it up. We're only 45 seconds in. Let's go back.
That's fair. No, that's good. Imagine you did it like a couple seconds before the song ended. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
7-minute rewind.
But it's but I guess going kind of like back to that thought because I kind of was thinking about this. But personally, like I write like there's songs that I have on my own too. And I don't feel like they're as good as like the band. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure there's people out there that probably think that their solo stuff is better than the stuff they do with like their other people. But like for me personally, like I just feel like it's never as good. Like I would find myself being bored playing my stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that if you remember when you first started playing with a band, when you play guitar by yourself for however long you play guitar by yourself, and then you first hung out with a drummer, and the first
so
time
much
you
fun.
played with a drummer,
Yeah.
it blows your mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So like that's the thing is like you need more moving parts to make it more satisfying.
I remember
you
the
can
first
make
time
it
I
pretty
played with a
good.
drummer, I was
You can do a
scared.
solo album where you do every part. You could do the drums.
But
you
live,
could-
it's hard to
But
do.
live, you can't do it.
But
Wait,
even-
so the first time you
Some
played with the
people can
drummer,
do it.
you were scared?
Yeah, no, it was like, how do I keep time with it? Instead of like the drummer keeping me on time, I had to like
Right.
actively think of how to keep time with the drummer.
Yeah.
It just like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was all of a sudden so loud, I'd only played at like bedroom volume. Now I'm trying to play over a drummer, my music's so loud, this guy's just
I
hitting
remember.
shit. I'm like,
yeah,
what
I
is
remember
going
playing
on?
bass guitar in middle school or whatever, and then getting a 6-string and like learning some little chords or 3-chord punk rock stuff, and then having this kid Nick Ferraro play drums, and that was a kid. He fell out, and he actually was like super into scum culture at a very young age. He had one of those, like we were like 14, 15. He had like stick and poke tattoo
starting
on his
beef on the
ankle.
internet right
Skid
now?
Row. He put Skid. He tattooed Skid. I saw him in the fucking
Like the
Publix the
band,
other
or-
day. No, the hangout spot.
He just was a fan of that.
He was a
particular location.
huge fan of
I mean, the
drug-
band's probably named after him.
gnarly, nasty drug culture. Yeah. So like, yeah, he fell out real quick. He ended up hanging out at Williams Park too much, and so he just like went away and left his drums, and I was like, I'll do the drums, but yeah, that
Everything you mentioned, I have no idea what it means, by the way.
Same
I speak in
stuff.
code. Yeah.
So what, like he was just basically a druggie?
Yeah, so Skid Row is a drug hangout in LA. And he
It's
was
like the
he was
homeless
super into
district.
like
It's
Hunter
tax
S.
for life.
Thompson.
Yeah.
That's what
Which-
like Sid from
From Sid Vicious.
Sid Vicious was
Yes.
into too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he took his name from.
I think he just hung out in New York too.
Yeah.
Skid Row.
Yeah, he probably.
Maybe,
took his
I don't
name.
know.
I think
guess the
he
Sex
had
Pistols went
Skid
on
Row
tour.
tattooed on him too.
Hmm.
Sid.
But yeah, so that was
So it's just scummy stuff.
scum culture.
Yeah.
And I've just only come out of the scum in the last few years, hanging out with these nice fellas.
Got him duped.
See, dude, you were like, absolutely not.
Well,
We're going to Williams Park right after this. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. Before we finish, do you guys have anything you want to plug real quick before we end it?
We're gonna be putting out an album. We're getting it
5
mastered
songs,
right now.
4 songs,
5 songs.
5 songs.
Yeah.
It's about 37 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna be putting out this coming month. It should be done, and it's been a labor-intensive thing that we've been working on for a while, and like ready to
Yeah, we're ready for it to be
release
done.
it.
Started
and,
with laying down tracks to
all
a
we need is
Tascam
album
424 in the garage, and built layers on that, and it's been labor-intensive, but
we've
it's
got a-
recorded and mixed. Off to mastering, and we're
art. Yep, we just need some album art, and we'll get it out there.
just take a picture of
Set,
the
we'll
little
set
gnome
up a
right
show,
there.
maybe
Set-
with
where did it
used
go?
guys. If we could do you guys.
I would love that.
Yeah, we
That'd
could
be
do
sick.
an
I would love
album
that.
release show.
Yeah.
Get
Cool.
used guys
Yeah.
and another couple fellas.
That
and
would be
ladies.
fucking dope as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we can bring like an out of town band or something like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. that'd be
Ideal.
good.
Sure.
Ideal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Any upcoming shows you guys have?
August 2nd, we're playing the Fly Trap.
Where's that?
That is at an undisclosed location. Look it
Okay.
up. DM
Find 'em
them.
on Instagram.
Same thing. Similar thing
Yeah,
with Sagehand.
it's
Okay.
another
Yeah,
Okay.
in St. Pete.
St. Pete
If you're gonna
DIY
go, hit it
house
up.
venue.
Yeah,
Right.
hit
Cops
us
will
up.
probably come.
We'll let you guys know.
Maybe they'll let us
Liquid
get 5
Pennies
songs in
band.
this time before
Yeah.
shutting us
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, if you look up Liquid Pennies on the internet, you can find all that out probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll keep we got another show in September, and hopefully another one in between there too. But yeah, we've really just been focusing on getting this recording stuff
Yeah,
done.
so we're hoping to play a bunch more
Yeah.
shows coming up, so we'll yell them out when we know.
Sweet. And we'll obviously like I say this every time. We'll have all the all your social media there on the description so people can see that. So just look in the
Cool.
description for that.
Yeah.
And just keep following them, man. That's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how you do it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming, man. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for having